That boarding pass in your hand? It might not be enough anymore. Starting February 2026, seniors are getting stopped at security, not because they did anything wrong, but because one small detail on their driver's license is missing. A 72-year-old from Phoenix missed her grandson's graduation. A retired teacher from Tampa paid $340 in rebooking fees. A couple from Denver watched their cruise ship leave without them, all because of a tiny star. Look, I've spent years helping travelers navigate airport chaos, and what's happening right now is catching thousands of seniors completely off guard. The rules you learned last year? Completely rewritten. The ID you've used for decades? Suddenly not good enough. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what changed, which 8 mistakes are getting seniors denied boarding, and the exact phrases that get you through security faster. Number 8. Your driver's license isn't enough anymore. Listen, that driver's license you've carried for 20 years might not get you on a plane anymore. Starting May 7th, 2025, the real ID deadline hit. But here's where it gets tricky for 2026. If you show up without that compliant ID, you're not just turned away. Starting February 1st, 2026, there's a new backup option. But it'll cost you $45, take 10 to 30 minutes of your time, and there's zero guarantee it'll work. A 68-year-old from Scottsdale thought she was prepared. She arrived 3 hours early for her flight to see her daughter. At security, the TSA officer looked at her license and said, "Ma'am, this isn't Real ID compliant." She had no idea what that meant. She'd renewed that license just 2 years ago. The officer directed her to a kiosk where she had to verify her identity online, pay $45 for something called Confirm ID, and wait. 37 minutes later, she got through, but her boarding group had already closed. Why? Because the TSA doesn't care how long you've been flying. They're checking for one thing, a star symbol on your license. No star? You're in for a world of hassle. Here's what you do. Pull out your driver's license right now. Look at the top right corner. See a star inside a circle or a star cutout? That's Real ID compliant. You're good. No star? You've got 2 options. Get a Real ID compliant license from your DMV or use your passport for domestic flights. If you're over 70, some states offer reduced Real ID fees. Louisiana charges $18.75 instead of the full price, and Indiana and Oklahoma have senior discounts too. Rule of thumb: star on license equals you fly. No star equals you pay or you stay. Number 7. The $45 backup that might fail you. All right, so you just realized your license doesn't have that star. You're thinking, I'll just deal with it at the airport. Bad move. TSA rolled out this new Confirm ID system for 2026, and it's designed to be your last resort, not your plan A. You verify your identity online at tsa.gov, pay a non-refundable $45 fee, and get a receipt that's valid for 10 days. Sounds simple, right? A 71-year-old from Boise tried this. He knew his license wasn't compliant, so he figured he'd use the backup system. He got to the airport, pulled up tsa.gov on his phone, and started the verification process. 23 minutes in, the system timed out. He had to start over. By the time he paid the $45 and got his receipt, his flight was boarding. He made it, barely, but spent the entire flight stressed and $45 poorer. The kicker? That $45 is non-refundable. Even if the system fails, even if you miss your flight, that money's gone. And the TSA makes zero guarantees you'll be cleared to fly. Here's what you do. Don't rely on Confirm ID as your primary plan. It's a backup for emergencies only. If you absolutely must use it, do it at home before you leave for the airport, not in the security line. Better yet, just get your Real ID or bring your passport. Save yourself the $45 and the stress. Insider move. If you're flying within the next 30 days and don't have Real ID, order a passport card online. It's $30, takes 2 to 3 weeks, and works for all domestic flights. Number 6. Pill organizers are now a red flag. Your daily pill organizer just became a security risk. TSA updated their medication screening procedures, and they're cracking down hard on unlabeled pills. That cute little Sunday through Saturday organizer you've used for years? It's getting people detained. A 74-year-old from Albuquerque packed her weekly pill organizer, 7 little compartments, each filled with her daily meds. At security, the TSA pulled her aside. "Ma'am, we need to verify these medications." She explained they were prescriptions: blood pressure, cholesterol, thyroid. The officer asked for the prescription bottles. She didn't have them. They were back home. After 15 minutes of back and forth, TSA confiscated 3 of her medications because they couldn't verify what they were. She flew without critical meds and had to find a pharmacy at her destination. Why does this happen? TSA officers can't confirm unlabeled pills are legitimate. With the opioid crisis, they're not taking chances. No label equals no proof equals confiscated. Here's what you do. Keep all prescription meds in their original pharmacy-labeled bottles. Your name, the drug name, and the prescribing doctor must be visible. Don't want to carry a full 90-day supply? Ask your pharmacist for a travel-sized bottle with a duplicate label. Most do this for free. For liquid meds like insulin or eye drops, you're allowed to exceed the 3.4-ounce limit, but you must declare them at the start of screening. The magic phrase, "I have medically necessary liquids that exceed 3.4 ounces." Say this to the TSA officer before screening starts. They'll test them and wave you through. Number 5. Request wheelchair. Help 48 hours early. Think you can just request a wheelchair when you get to the airport? Think again. Airlines outsource wheelchair services to third-party contractors, and they staff based on advance requests. Show up needing help without pre-requesting it, and you could wait 30 to 45 minutes or miss your flight entirely. A 69-year-old couple from Charlotte learned this the hard way. The husband has arthritis and struggles with long walks. They figured they'd ask for a wheelchair at check-in. The agent said, "We'll call for one." 32 minutes later, still no wheelchair. Their boarding group was called. They tried to walk to the gate. It was a 12-minute trek. By the time they arrived, the door was closed. The gate agent couldn't reopen it. They missed their flight to their 50th anniversary cruise. Airlines know this happens. They're banking on you not knowing the 48-hour rule. Here's what you do. When you book your ticket, look for special services or accessibility requests. Check the box for wheelchair assistance. Already booked? Call the airline now. Say, "I need to add wheelchair assistance from check-in to gate and from gate to baggage claim on arrival." Wheelchair service is free under the Air Carrier Access Act. You don't tip, though many do, and you should never feel like you're imposing. Pro tip, request gate-to-gate assistance if you're connecting. This ensures someone meets you at your arrival gate and takes you to your next departure gate. All right, quick pause. If this is helping you prepare for your next flight, do me a favor. Hit that like button right now. It helps other seniors discover these insider tips before they get caught off guard at the gate, and subscribe so you never miss my travel hacks. Okay, what comes next should be a costly mistake. Number 4. The free 75 plus benefit. Nobody mentions. Wait, before you pay for TSA pre-check, listen to this. If you're 75 or older, you already get most pre-check benefits for free. TSA policy allows travelers 75 plus to keep their shoes and light jackets on during standard screening. No $78 fee, no enrollment appointment. It's automatic. A 76-year-old from Portland didn't know this. She paid for pre-check, thinking it was the only way to avoid removing her shoes. 3 months later, she learned she'd been eligible for the accommodation all along. That's $78 she didn't need to spend. But here's the catch. TSA officers don't always announce this. In a busy checkpoint, they might not notice your age. You have to speak up. Here's what you do. When you reach the security line, tell the TSA officer, "I'm 75 and I'd like to keep my shoes on." They'll direct you through. That's it. No paperwork, no hassle. Under 75 but over 70, TSA pre-check is still worth it. $78 for 5 years breaks down to $15.60 per year. And many credit cards, Chase Sapphire Reserve, Capital One Venture, reimburse the fee. Rule of thumb: 75 plus equals free shoe accommodation. Under 75 equals pre-check is your best bet. Number 3. Pre-boarding rights you're not using. You're entitled to board early, but airlines don't make it obvious. Federal law requires airlines to allow passengers who need extra time to board before general boarding. That includes seniors, but the announcement is vague. We'll now begin pre-boarding for those who need extra time or assistance. They don't say seniors or older travelers, so most people over 70 sit there, unsure if they qualify. A 73-year-old from Austin uses a cane. She heard the pre-boarding announcement but felt embarrassed to step forward. She waited for her group. By the time she boarded, the aisle was packed. Someone's bag knocked her cane out of her hand. She nearly fell. A flight attendant caught her, but she was shaken for the entire flight. Airlines want you to pre-board. It's safer for you and smoother for them, but you have to ask. Here's what you do. Walk up to the gate counter before boarding starts. Say, "I'd like to request pre-boarding because I need extra time to get settled." You don't need a doctor's note. You don't need to justify it. If you need extra time, whether it's for mobility, balance, or just peace of mind, you qualify. Pre-boarding is free. It doesn't change your seat, it just gives you space and time without the crowd. The magic phrase, "I need extra time to get settled." That's all you have to say. Number 2. What to expect with mobility device screening. Your cane, walker, or wheelchair is going to be screened, and if you don't know what to expect, it can feel like you're being singled out. TSA updated their mobility device screening in 2025. Your device might go through a separate scanner, get swabbed for explosives, or be inspected by hand. This isn't personal. It's standard procedure. But if you're not prepared, it feels invasive and frustrating. A 70-year-old from Miami uses a walker. At security, a TSA officer asked her to step away from it so they could screen it. She didn't understand why. She felt like they were treating her like a threat. The officer swabbed the walker, ran it through a scanner, and handed it back. The whole process took 3 minutes, but she was rattled. Here's what you do. When you arrive at security, say, "I use a mobility device and need assistance." If you can walk a few steps safely, they'll ask you to walk through the scanner while your device is checked separately. Can't stand or walk safely? Say, "I need to remain seated for screening due to mobility limitations." TSA will conduct a pat-down while you're seated. This is your right. If you get pushback, ask for a TSA supervisor. Supervisors are trained on accessibility accommodations. Insider move. If your walker or wheelchair folds, collapse it before the scanner. It speeds up the process because it fits through the X-ray belt more easily. Number 1. Invisible disabilities get overlooked. Not every challenge shows up as a cane or a wheelchair, and that's where seniors get stuck. Chronic pain, arthritis, shortness of breath, balance issues, anxiety in crowds. These are real disabilities that make travel harder. But because they're invisible, gate agents and TSA officers can't see them, and they're not allowed to guess. A 68-year-old from San Diego has severe arthritis. She looks fine from the outside, but standing in long lines is excruciating. She didn't know she could ask for help because she didn't look disabled. She stood in the security line for 40 minutes in pain the entire time. By the time she got to her gate, she was exhausted and nearly missed boarding. You don't have to share your medical history to get help. You just have to speak up. Here's what you do. Say, "I have a disability that's not immediately visible and I need specific accommodation." Examples. I need to pre-board because standing in the aisle is painful, or I need wheelchair assistance because long walks are difficult. Airlines are required to provide reasonable accommodations. Reasonable means it doesn't change the flight operation. Pre-boarding? Reasonable. Extra time? Reasonable. Wheelchair assistance? Reasonable. Pro tip: if you're traveling alone and over 70, tell your flight attendant during boarding, "Hi, I'm traveling alone today. Just wanted to let you know in case I need assistance." They'll keep an eye out for you without hovering. Now, knowing these 8 rules won't matter if you don't have the right documents packed in the first place. Most seniors don't realize that one missing form, a medical clearance letter, a prescription copy, or even a backup ID can derail an entire trip. A 71-year-old from Raleigh had to cancel her flight because she didn't have her doctor's note for her oxygen concentrator. In my next video about the 7 documents seniors must carry when flying, 2026 update, I'm revealing the documents every senior must carry when flying, including the one that saved a traveler $1,200 in rebooking fees. See you there.